Hi guys, and welcome back to It's Cooking Good. Today I'm going to do my take on an American classic. It's a much loved dish all over the US. It's something you'll find in homes and diners all across the country, and it is the infamous Salisbury Steak. Please join me as I give you my take on this much loved classic. Okay, so let's look at the ingredients. Here we've got 500 grams of 5% beef mince, tablespoon of tomato ketchup, tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Here we've got 1 shallot, which has been grated. You could use a very small onion. 2 cloves of minced garlic, a cup of breadcrumbs, and I reuse those breadcrumbs from the muffaletta. And here is a tablespoon full of milk. And that will all be mixed together. So that's for our beef patties. For our sauce, we're using 250 grams of chestnut mushrooms, but if you've got normal button mushrooms, absolutely fine. Similarly, if you don't like mushrooms, leave them out. Here we've got 2 chopped shallots, again, 2 tablespoons of plain flour, a teaspoon of dried thyme, a tablespoon of Worcester sauce, some butter, and lastly, we've got 700 millilitres of beef stock. Let's get started. Okay, so first we're going to prepare the mince and we're going to add in the ingredients we've already looked at. So as I said before, this is a cup of breadcrumbs. I might not need all of it for this 500 grams of mince. I think we'll start with that. And to that we're going to add a little bit of milk, and the milk really is just to moisten up the breadcrumbs. We're going to go in with our garlic, our shallot, our Dijon mustard, and our tomato ketchup, like so. Just take that off there. And then what we're going to do is get our hands involved and just mix this around. What you're really looking for is to bring this together. Now you could put an egg in here as a binder, but I find that the breadcrumbs do the job really, really well, and actually make the patties, when we finally make them, it's going to make them nice and airy as well. I'm just mixing all that in. Don't worry that it's raw garlic and shallots in there. That will cook off because we've grated it. It's so fine that this is going to be double cooked, which you'll see in a little while. And we just do that. That's looking pretty good. I haven't salt and peppered this because I'm actually going to put that into the gravy, which we're going to be making shortly, which will go over the top. And that looks pretty good. You want to end up with something that looks like so. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is portion this up. So we're actually going to be making 3 steaks from this. So I'm just going to roughly pull these into patties. Now this dish, I spent a lot of time in the States and ate this a lot. And you go to sort of any diner or family home, it's normally served, certainly on a Sunday in a family home. And actually it became famous when I was a child because it was a TV dinner. I think it put TV dinners on the map. I'm not even sure you can get TV dinners anymore, but there we go. Okay, so there's one of our patties. Let me just bring over a board. Okay, and what we want to do, it looks a bit like a hamburger. What we're trying to do is to make it into a bit of a sort of, almost like a steak shape, I guess. You sort of want to push it out. I tend to do mine with a little bit of a sort of bulbous bit, if you like, at the end there. So it looks like some sort of steak. And I'd say that's pretty good. You want to end up with something looking like that. Now, when you do come to cook these, you can cook these on a griddle pan to give them those char marks. But a top tip for you is if you have something like a chopstick or something like that, And you just put little indents into the meat, like so. When that hits, if you're doing it in a normal pan, when that hits the frying pan, it will actually create those sort of nice bar marks that you get on like a griddle or a barbecue. So there you go, there's one. I'm gonna make up the other two and I'll come back to you once those are made. Okay, so we've got our 3 patties made. They do look quite big, but trust me, they will shrink down a little bit once they hit the pan. What I want to now do is just let those firm up and get to know each other as ingredients. I'm going to put them in the fridge for an hour, and then once they're done, pull them out and we'll get cooking. Okay, so our Salisbury steaks have now been resting in the fridge for about an hour. Just preheating this pan up, and we're just going to go in with a drizzle of oil, like so. It's probably about a tablespoon of oil, and we're just going to shimmy that around, like so. Just let that heat up. And now we're going to go in with our patties. We'll just do that. Nice sizzle. 2. And then 3. Get that one in. Like so. There we go. And we're only going to part cook these. All we want is some colour on these at this stage. And then we're going to take them out, and then we're going to start on the sauce, and they will be returned to the pan to finish cooking in that lovely sauce. Okay, so they've had about 1.5 minutes. Let's flip them over now, gently. Hopefully won't want to break them up. There we go. We've got some nice coloration on there. This is what we want. Colour is flavour. And we're going to leave those for another 1.5 minutes on that side. Okay, so we're going to take these out of the pan now and just put them on a plate, just to rest until we need them again. And I've just turned the hob down to medium low. We're now going to go in with our mushrooms. As I said, that's 250 grams of sliced mushrooms. So I'm just going to put in a little bit of butter, just half of our butter. And to that, add our thyme. Again, if you don't like thyme, you could add rosemary, oregano even, if you preferred. Entirely up to you, whatever your preference. I'm just going to give that a good stir around, get the butter melted. And we're just looking for some colour on these. And then we're going to go in with our shallots. Okay, so the mushrooms have been cooking for about 2 minutes now, and as you can see, they've taken on some nice colour. We're now going to go in with our shallots. Just stir those around. And what you're really looking just to take the rawness out of those shallots. So let's get it all going together. I could eat this now. I hope the American people will be proud of me. Okay, so that's cooking away nicely. I'm not going to add any salt at this stage because we are adding beef stock to it and it can be quite salty, but I will check it at the end. But I am just going to add a little bit of black pepper. And then to that, we're going to actually add our flour, and we're going to make our roux. So that's the flour in. And I've just got, obviously this is a non-stick pan, so I've just got a little whisk here. What I'm doing is just stirring that to incorporate it and just to burn off some of that, cook off some of that flour. I don't want it burned, do we? That's it. Just to get rid of the whiteness of the flour that you can see. Like so. The hob currently is just on a low heat, but I will turn it up in a second. So when you see the stock going, it won't immediately sizzle. That looks pretty good to me. We're going to add our Worcester sauce. Love Worcester sauce. And then we're going to gradually add in our beef stock. And this is just a normal Knorr stock pot, if you like, which I've just added water to. Just going to gently get this going. Look at that, it already looks delicious. Lovely thick sauce. I'm not sure if people prefer the patty or it's the sauce that they like more. Obviously the combo of the two is phenomenal. This is a really economical, cheap dinner. You know, again, it's a great one for midweek, or as a substitute maybe for a Sunday lunch. It really is tasty. There we go. I'm just going to raise the heat a little bit on this now. Okay, so that's been bubbling away now for a couple of minutes. As you can see, it's nicely bubbling. The sauce has thickened up. I just want to try it for seasoning now. That's good. Definitely doesn't need any salt. I think a personal preference, I'd like a little bit more Worcester sauce in there. I quite like that tartness. I'm just going to add a little bit more. I've added like another teaspoon there. And we'll just give that a stir in. There we go. Now we're going to go back in with our Salisbury steaks. And we're just going to set those in there like so. And then add any pan juices that were left over. And then we're just going to cover them. We've got to remember, we've got to give them that last part of their cooking. They're not cooked through yet. So just spoon over, that's it, like so. Mushrooms on the top there. I'm just going to leave that. And then we'll move on to our final step, which is going to be to add a little bit of butter, just to give it that silky finish. Okay, so they've had about 3 minutes actually, just pottering away there. We're just going to put in our butter, just to finish it off, and just stir that through. And that should give our sauce that nice sort of silkiness. Like so. A bit over there. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling hungry. And that's it. I think we are done. So all that's left is, let's take it over, let's have a look at the finished product, and then we'll plate it up and give it a try. Okay, so there she is. Our Salisbury steak with mushroom gravy. I've paired it with a little bit of mashed potato and some broccolini. All that's left to do is for me to give it a try. Imogen's not here again, which means a little bit more for me. Let's try it. Just a little bit off there. A little bit of the mushroom, a little bit of the gravy. That is cooking good. I think every American out there would be proud of me. That is a great dish, and I promise you it'll be one that your family loves. Please give it a try. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, comments below. If there's anything you'd like to see us cook, let us know. We'd be more than delighted to do it for you. Anyway, till the next time, take care.